Hello, and good morning. Okay, so hopefully the sound is corrected now. For some reason it was way the hell louder than it was previously. Actually, there we go, let's put it down even farther. How's that sound? Anybody how to let me know what that's sounding like? Should probably actually... Sorry, trying to pull up the little chatty daily and for some reason it's being all super weird. Because apparently it's that kind of day. There we go. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's okay. Actually, let's mess with this a little farther. Put that up. Mind your ears for just a moment here. There we go, put that to 1, put this to here, and that looks about right. So, here's hoping, here's hoping. Thing is, for some reason stuff just doesn't want to sound right on my end. Just because I can barely hear it, and then I'm looking at little recordy dealy. It's like, hey, this thing is blowing out people's eardrums, and you can't be heard at all. It's alright. This is the I don't know what it's actually called. I'm just going to call it the Cerabow Mod Cerabow. I don't know. I don't really know for sure. But it is in development, I know that much. So yeah. Basically it is a new mod. Unlike FFT 1.3, apparently the idea is to kind of just have a, well, logical rebalance of the thing. If you've never played 1.3, the idea there was to just make it all more difficult and super hardcore-like, and honestly it was never my cup of tea, but it did have some cool stuff in it. It was kind of like what Long War did for XCOM kind of thing. But anyway, so this one is, as I understand it, and as I've been told about it, it's sort of similar to like what One Vision did for Tactics Ogre, where it's, you know, intended to be kind of like a common sense revamp, overhaul type of situation. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this going. Bear in mind, I don't really have any idea of most of the stuff in it. It's something that I intentionally tried to go into fairly blind. I want to see what's new. And right off the bat, one of the big things that I'm hoping for, just like I was with One Vision, is to hopefully be able to have basic units with spears. I doubt that it's there, but if it's there, it's there. Okay, so this is going to be Starch. Starch of House Caffeine. Hang on, whoops. No, not... Ah. Okay. No. How do I... I'm hitting squares, what I don't get. There we go, there we go. I'm just being dumb, that's what's going on. Anyway, hello to the first couple people that have shown up now. Let me know if there's any kinds of questions that you have, or stuff that you'd like tested. What day is it today? 10/23? There we go. He was born today! I forget if I have a fast forward function on this or not. I don't think so, but I can skip the cutscene. It's always good when you can skip cutscenes. You know, I will say, the original TO and the PS1, I could never get into doing challenge runs of that one, just because of one particular early cutscene. Come to think of it, could you always skip the cutscenes? I think you could. But yeah, I've played FFT pretty extensively. It's actually one of the first SRPGs I started with. I think technically the first. I'm trying to think if there was... I guess it could be argued that the very original BattleTech over on DOS was the first, but still, you know. This is the first, like, well-known one that I ever played. Funnily enough, because I was trying to find Tactics Ogre, and then I found this. But alrighty. Here we go now, our dudes, they're getting all stabbed. I wonder if Gefgarian's still gonna be as absurdly OP as he always was. Because I don't know what common sense rebalance means exactly in this context. Go! One thing though, one of the big reasons I prefer the original is just the translation was a lot more blunt. Like, easily one of my favorite lines in just the genre in general comes right after this scene. that just pretty accurately sums up this entire game, and for that matter, also the series that it's kind of related to. And yeah, I will be regularly comparing this to TO, just so you know. So if you've never heard of Tactics Ogre, yeah, you could call it the precursor and something that eventually learned from FFT. Because essentially TO, it's something that they saw and Matsuna working on. They're like, hey, we want you to make this, except you know, we want to actually have people make money off it. So, all right, so let's see. He comes with. Why does he have a equipped gun already? That's pretty early. Alright, let's see what else is different. Rules, okay, comes with a crossbow. I'm not sure if he always came with a crossbow. I think they always came with bows here. This looks... Let's see what's different. Yeah, preparation. Let's, what does that look like? Sorry, the last version I was playing was War of the Lions, so... trying to figure out what buttons do what. Because it should be circle at this screen, I would think. Because it was X on that one. Odd. Maybe let's just start on this one, or can I just not see it? Alright, whatever. We'll figure that out later. Punch arts. I don't think he came with punch arts before. But at any rate, let's go see what Gafgarian's up to. Yeah, steel, and yeah, he came with black magic before, I believe. The other ones I'm gonna assume are pretty well the same, so... Do I want to move here? Yes, I think I do want to move here. If anyone is able to use their fingers to do that whole typey thing, let me know if there's any issues with the audio, please. I would definitely appreciate it. It's always a good thing to know. I'll say that decision right there should have been suspicious right from the get-go. They're like, dude, like, information. You probably want at least the leader here. Especially considering the fact that you can overpower them like nobody's business. Oh, wow, is he actually... He's actually gonna be attacking things, what the hell? Okay, I think probably one of the things that must have been copied over then, I know 1.3 had MP costs on all of his sword abilities, so it's very possible that he just doesn't want to spend the MP on it. Okay, that was an interesting choice. Yeah, those knights, not too bright. Not too bright. Not sure what they're doing there. Like, yeah, let's cast right in the open, let's go ahead and Earth Slash our own dudes. Though that's more so the game's AI, I'm not sure if anything can be done about that. Oh! Oh, you don't say! We've got FFTA archers, do we? Me likey! So, if you've never played FFTA, that was the shtick with archers in that one. They are basically trick shooters. And, yeah, that was one of them, so, wait. Nothing broke? Was that like a helmet break and a blind all in one? Interesting, hang on. Hitting triangle to interrupt, because that's the command for let us cling together, but no. What is my interrupt? I don't think there is an interrupt. Runic split. After how long that took, you'd definitely expect it to work. Okay, apparently they still do have charge shots, though. Okay, so I'm stuck with Don't Act. Who was it that... You. Is your helmet broken? No. So what broke? Why did it say that something broke? Must be a bug. Oh well, that happens in modding. A lot, actually. We're just gonna move them there to hopefully keep them in the corner. But, yeah, that's the fun part with mods. There's always little things here and there. And it must be really frustrating for the mod authors, too. Like, especially as I've seen with One Vision there, you get like little things that come up every now and then, and people read way too much into it. Like, for example, with One Vision there's this one bug where one guy has just like has an invisible sprite in one cutscene out of like hundreds of cutscenes. But it's one that people see pretty early on because for whatever reason they stored that information somewhere completely different. And yeah, so it's like it's one of those things. It doesn't affect anything, but it's just kind of there. And so many people looked at that and like, oh my god, everything's completely broken. It doesn't work at all. This guy's invisible. It's like, dude, there's like 10,000 frickin' changes in this mod, and you're focusing on this one cutscene that lasts like a second and a half. What the hell? But anyway, so just about done with the tutorial fight here. As Mr. Rad is being all amazing here. So stupid that they changed his name later. His name is Rad, dang it. He's the Rad guy. Alright. Preparation... yeah, interesting. Okay, so they do have instant trick shots, and then they have charged ability. It's good to know. What's Guts looking like? Guts... okay, they've got turns on Accumulate and Yell. I'm not seeing the speed up one, which is my personal favorite. Good to see an MP counter on here, too. Interesting, he's got Night Sword. Huh. Alright, whatever. I guess Gafgarian taught it to him. How about that? Wait, so does... no, he's still a Dark Knight, so what's his shtick then? Huh, that's cool. Alright. It seems a little odd for a mercenary to specialize in eating people with laser swords, but hey. Whatever works. It's a cool thing that he taught him that skill. Oh, he's gonna... he's just gonna throw money at him. That's cool. Ah, that's a good one. What is... do you have a money count this early in the game? Like, if you have an NPC in your party, like Gafgarian there, and he ends up doing Guild Toss, and at this point, you should technically have a money counter of 0, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember to keep in mind, whenever the game starts proper, whether or not that money actually was part of the counter, like if there's a weird number to it. So if I forget, please remind me. Yes! Okay, Squires with regen. Very yes. That I love to see. Okay, what else do we have for here? Okay, he's got haste. Okay, haste instead of speed +1. That's definitely a bit more reasonable. Actually, the endless speed ups, oh, that's why I'm not seeing it. Okay, like I said, last version I played was War of the Lions, so the reason that I wasn't seeing it is because it was renamed to Tailwind in that one. Which kind of makes it sound like somebody is just turbo farting around the entire arena. But hey, you know, to each their own. Now, I'm assuming something's going janky with the stream there. There's a couple folks up and left, so if anyone happens to know what's wrong with it, please do let me know. I'm not sure if the sound's off or what, but that's usually what that indicates. That and or I'm being annoying. One of those two things. Alright, anyway. I'm gonna axe that guy. I wonder if axes are still woefully unreliable. We'll find out. Let's compare Night Sword with a regular attack. Yeah, it looks like it's still the same damage. I just kind of would have liked to see a bit of a downgrade on that thing's attack power, considering what it does. Right, they give their oh, okay. I was gonna say they changed the line to they give their vitality. Are they actually gonna give their health? Yeah, no, sure enough, they laser sorted somebody back to health. That's interesting. And I see we're working in some new utility for those abilities. Now let's go ahead and finish this guy off. Get smacked. Yeah, I'm curious to see what his actual skill list looks like. There's a bunch of interesting changes going on here. But biggest question, do squires get spears? I must know. Squires and knights. Like, I know that's supposed to be a dragoon thing, that's like their whole friggin' gimmick. But I don't know, it was always odd to me They're like, here's these basic soldiers. They can't equip the most basic weapon mankind has ever created. Like, it's a sharp stick. Best line, right here. Don't blame us, blame yourself or God. And then they changed it to something really stupid and hoity-toity in word lines. Like, what was it? Like, don't blame our actions, blame your fate or some crap? It's like, what is this? What? No. It was really cool originally. Why would you change it? Then again, they also changed one of the coolest moves in the game too, which was Galaxy Stop, and they changed it to like Celestial Stasis or something. Like, no, Galaxy Stop sounds way cooler! Interestingly enough, yet another plug for One Vision, because yes, they included Galaxy Stop in that one. Anyway, yes, I will constantly mention, because apparently they've got a similar mindset, so I will compare the hell out of them. Because why not? Why not? Anyway, so I'm loving the changes so far. Interesting new stuff going on. Not really seeing anything, well, 1.3-esque, as was mentioned, because it's not trying to be 1.3, which is good. That was the issue that a lot of the mods had. Oh yeah, little Ani is still there. I wonder if there's any way to fix that. Can I skip it? No. I don't know why money is so slow for this one cutscene. That one always kind of sticks to me there. I forgot to map in a fast forward button, so I'll make sure to do that for next time. Also, I don't know if that would end up messing with anything. But yeah. Stuff and such and all that kind of thing. A time robbery and murder were commonplace. Well, maybe somebody should do something about that. It seems like when people can go and, you know, spend about half a day and learn to become a frickin' wizard, there's really no excuse for that. Like, oh, I got punched a few times, and then I went and had a friggin' arm wrestle with a cat, so now I can suddenly shoot thunderbolts and stuff. It's great. Good stuff. Like, so how'd you get murdered? Oh, you know, I just accidentally friggin', like, I was just trying to clean my ear out and ended up fireballing myself in the ear. Other dudes got attacked. I was like this scene, like, past the fadeaway part. Just because it's one of the few times that you actually see that they're like in a school and all that sort of thing. Yep. They're all here learning. They're the class that's graduating. I guess on the kind of semi-realism side on this whole thing, they wouldn't have actually had that many cadets that were graduating out of these things, because generally speaking, for nightly classes and all that sort of thing, it was just head houses that had that type of situation going on. So just a small handful of units, that seems pretty reasonable. Right now... Oh, none of my previous saves are... Well, actually, yeah. Because all my previous saves are saved as Vita files. That'll do it. Alright, Clive, Muller... Oh, man. Let me go over here and investigate some Russians. Let's go double chemist for safety's sake. Safety strats and all that sort of thing. See if that still applies. That's when I find out there's like 5 potions into the entire party's name. We're entirely broke and forgot to buy medicine. What's changed about this fight? I don't know. Yeah, that's not a line anybody should ever say, ever. Or just standing away from us and looting a city is just these children's. Yeah, I'm kind of a douche. I'm a douche. Okay. What are we doing, y'all? Basskirk, that's a pretty cool name right there. I haven't really seen many name changes. I wonder if that's something that any mods ever do. 6 skills, comes with a knife and an escutcheon. Okay, so squires can use shields at least. I like that change. Darkness. Okay. Now, item-wise, ooh. Okay, they start off with high potion, interestingly enough. What's your equipment looking like? So a blind knife. Let's probably move you over here. like parking one of my chemists up here so that they just kind of stand here as a lightning rod for damage. And what's your situation like? You don't have ethers, but that's fine, or ethers, whatever you want to call them. I'm assuming I'm assuming knives are going to be like the status effect plus a little damage type of weapon type. That's what it seems to be telling me. Alright. Ooh, wait, I can control Deleta? Okay. Okay, I can work with that. That's good stuff. Now, guts. Oh, wow, you start off with a lot, huh? So, aim strike is what? Just accurate? So, cannot miss. +1 power, throw a stone, and heal. Is this still just a pushback move? Probably. Thankfully, it does mention whether something's physical or not at this point. That's a good change. I'm seeing higher health than before, I believe. Didn't actually see what that move was. Don't suppose anybody wants to let me know if the audio's working right yet, no? Oh, squires can use crossbows too, huh? Okay, alright. Gotcha. Of course, this is when I find out I accidentally disabled chat somehow or something. Alright. Don't patronize me. I'm important and in this life or death situation, so why don't I go ahead and identify myself as a hostage? Brilliant. Actually, that's probably a pretty good idea. So, in retrospect, it's one of those things where I always thought, hey, you know, that's really stupid. Why does he identify himself as a, you know, well-known guy? So back then, if you were just nobody, odds are, you know, you might just get shanked. But hey, if you lose the fight and you're important, then you're basically completely safe. Nobody's gonna actually go and, you know, try to shank you in the face and all that sort of thing. So they're like, hey, you know, potentially lots of money right here, don't do anything to them. And his house is rich as hell, so basically he can just run into any fight like, hey, my family's super rich, and they're like, okay, that guy, nobody hurt that guy. But he's trying to hurt us, that doesn't matter. Okay, he'll still do 30. Nifty. Nifty. I wonder what happened with healing items between this and Vagrant Story. Like that they just completely changed the entirety of all their healing items over the course of those two games. I suppose it's one of the more sensible changes. Kind of makes sense. You know, stuff evolves, stuff gets better. I would like one of these blind procs to happen. It's not looking too likely. Let's go finish off this chemist. Suppose you want to hit him? And no, you don't. Good to know. Good to know. And his movement speed is fantastic. Or his range, rather. And he's almost able to take that guy out even through all of his heals. So early game, standard potion-y type, healy type situation, still pretty heavily in favor of the chemist. That's fine. It would be kind of interesting to see what would happen with a percentage heal for items. That's something that T-Ho had attempted a few times. Oh, they've got the double shot. Okay, so if you've never tried 1.3, that's something that was pretty prevalent in that one, wherein you'd have all of your crossbows would have the potential for, well, added effects like they were in the original, except the double shot was pretty common. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this heal. Shoot with one hand with a double attack. And Squire and Archer. Fair enough, fair enough. So does Algus show up as a Squire now? That'll be interesting to see. Hopefully he does. Then it makes sense for him to have a crossbow. That one always was a little bit annoying. Check out my magical infinite range on my crossbow. It's got that cutscene range, you can't even question that. And all they would have had to do is move him forward one tile, you know? Because I don't remember for 100%, but I would say a good 80% sure that I remember him being literally only one tile off from being the actual range of his crossbow. They just gave him cutscene range and called it a day. You'd think that wouldn't bug me after liking the AC series so much, where they can't ever seem to communicate with the dang design team at any given point. Like, hey, check it out, this robot can do this in this cutscene. Like, no, that's a completely different weapon. Whatever! We tried! Probably the best one being where there's a guy clearly firing a laser machine gun, and he's firing just like a standard rifle. Like, that's... no, every part of that is wrong. And what's funny is that he even had the means to make that scene happen, they just didn't want to bother animating it. Because he, like... Okay, so if you've never played AC, they have this thing where you have a little orb. In some of the games, they have a little orb that pops out of the kind of main, like, chassis-type situation of your mech. And so in this scene, they're basically having like a laser sword fight, and one of them backs up while firing, and he's firing his rifle there, and it has the sound of a laser machine gun, which is what that orb on his back is, but he never uses it. It's like, why? Why couldn't you just show that thing popping up for a second? You just animated a different one a minute ago. It's like the partner he comes in with is just spending like half that intro cutscene flying around shooting that thing. It's great, it's great. Also, Starch's jump is ridiculous. Holy crap. Why can he jump on rooftops? Pretty awesome. Like, it's definitely a good little empowering feeling early on, but why is that? Do boots give higher jump now? No, just move +1. Health +10. Health +8. Okay. What I'll be curious to see is whether standard equipment can last for any length of time. Alright, 2 to 7, yep. So, I guess he only was able to make that jump because technically he was supposed to be making that jump? Or something? I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering what exactly happened there. It's very likely. It's very likely. I'm not terribly observant. Okay, I see the same old strategy of cornering this guy on the rooftop and shaking him till he stops having a drinking problem still applies. As you do. There's one feature, and, pardon me for saying it, there's one feature from TO that I would have always liked to see in FFT, and it's kind of an odd thing that they never brought it back for the Where the Lines thing, which is like if you hold down a button, you can see the health on all of your units at one time. And it's, here's the thing, it's one of those things where they kinda had it... Whoa. That was some interesting graphic situation. They kinda had it in some instances, and not so much in others. Like, for example, in the SNES games, they sometimes had it. Then they remade, or rather, then they made some of the other games, and then they didn't. It was a very come-and-go feature. The point being, like, in that one, you would just hold down square and you would see all the life bars. It would give you an idea of who needs what. I guess it's not really necessary, because there's only like 10 units on screen at a time, and you're probably paying attention to it, but I don't know. Always like that. One thing I want to see here. Aim strike, is that... Yeah, why does that do the same... Is there a penalty on that or something? Feels like that needs a penalty of some description, because it's just a straight-up 100% hit. It's an odd choice. Because why would I ever not use that then? Huh. Alright, I'm gonna have to take another look at that the next time it comes up. Because that feels a little strange in terms of why that doesn't have a penalty. Throw a rock. We will hit you with a rock. You're also going for a rock. Please do half damage. Wait. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird that that doesn't have a penalty. Again, it could be like the way they usually did that in TO. Sorry if that annoys you, by the way. Anyway, so the way that they did it in that one is just if you used a 100% hit chance, you ended up having a like a movement speed penalty, which I didn't see assigned or indicated in any manner. that's why I was gonna take another look and see if it's on there, you know? Alright. So yeah, it doesn't use MP. SP34. What's SP? That speed points or something? Yeah, I feel like that's what that is. Okay. No, I'm an idiot. That's speed, in terms of how long it takes to cast, because that's a completely different move. This... I don't get it. Why does it not have anything? Well, anyway. Might as well just keep using it then. That feels usable as hell. Oh, and it even can get crits, so... yeah, what is the actual penalty on that? Oh, hello, couple peoples. Play Celia's Complete Patch, and hello, Mr. Patrick. I have never heard of the Complete Patch. What's the story of that one? Yeah, so this is the Cerabow mod. It's one that's in development as a kind of, well, kind of common sense rebalance, as it were. So, kind of like, I was comparing earlier, kind of like how One Vision did for Tactics over PSP. So a similar idea where the idea is just to make everything kind of still stick to the original difficulty curve, but then also try to add new cool stuff and, you know, kind of quality of life features and all that. So, that sort of situation. But yeah, currently I'm trying to figure out why exactly it is that some of these things do not have penalties. Alright. If one of these blind procs could potentially hit, that'd be fantastic. It's very nice to be able to actually control Delita during this fight. Potentially just disable this guy and go collect us some dudes. Go eat some crystals and all that sort of thing. Sounds like a good time. Alright, basic skills, why don't you accumulate? It's good to see that his squires are as good as he is, because they're all coming out of the same class. At least their stats seem to be as good as they are. There's a squire with 70-70, got this lady with 50-70. I guess they're all more or less on the same level. Mr. Gailar, why are you not hiding? There we go. There we go. He's going for his hiding AI. Okay, basic skills. Let's have you accumulate and move overkill. Stuff. And Mr. Goodman, yeah, let's have you go over here. I'm gonna try to have everybody eat just one of these crystals. I don't know what they're actually gonna give this time around, considering that all the skill layouts are entirely different. Hopefully this one had something useful. Get abilities, and ooh, hello. Got all kinds of good stuff in here. Probably counter throw, because she's not gonna be doing a lot of physical stuff, more than likely. High faith character and all that. She's all religious-like. Like, oh man, I gotta get me some of that Jeebus. That's what they did. We're gonna go here to prevent him from reaching that chemist, hopefully. He's gonna continue accumulating, get some of those XPs going. I see that's still fully abusable, so that's good. I always like those abilities. You dropped a treasure box. Fair enough. What you got for me? It's a knife! Okay, that gave me a dang heart attack. I don't know if you heard that sound. Keys just got thrown on the floor. This little tiny cat ran into him. It happens, it happens. And are we just about done here? Because I'd like to actually move on to the, the actual unit customization and all that sort of thing. Find out what's going on here. Really, all I'm doing is waiting on these crystals right now. Might as well use one of those, get a little bit of extra XP out of it. Maybe even have some casters out of this. It's funny, with so many units with Wish, it's potentially a situation where you could just go and repeatedly knock these guys out and put them back up and just endlessly sandbag them in the middle of this town for ages and ages and ages and come up with a bunch of really overpowered units. It's one of those really jank things that I just love about FFT. Like the sheer amount of ways that you can potentially break it. Can he reach that crystal? No, he can't. But yeah, we were recently doing a community run of it, specifically of the War of the Lions version. And I just kind of went out of my way to try and make a bunch of really stupid stuff happen. Like specifically stuff like making Mandalia into a gun knight. Oh, that took a minute. It took a very long minute. Or stuff like pretty much turning Ramza into a Dragoon pretty early on, and he just wound up being like some kind of weird Samurai Dragoon type situation. Oh man, you got all the skills here. Let's put counter throw on you too. I don't know how expensive these are, so if I'm picking the wrong one, my bad. But I just figure some counter ability is pretty darn useful, so now that we've eaten all of your friends, let's go ahead and do this. So an accidental cannibalism, whoops. And now we're gonna find out that it's a town where a bunch of wizards came from. As you do. That line always seemed a little bit awkward. Actually wait, that line already happened, didn't it? Alright, so you get a poison knife instead of a blind knife, still get 3 Phoenix Downs, and a drink. Although it appears the drink is there instead of the remedy or ether or whatever it was that you got early on before. It's one of those things. I think you still start off with one of them, which is funny. Let's go double check the inventory. The funny thing is, as far as the ether goes, or remedy, or whatever the hell it's... yeah, the remedy. What's funny is that later on, when you go fight his brothers, they end up dropping those. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Or elixir, sorry. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, so what do we got early on? It seems like the shop has about the same stuff. I think there's fewer items here. Let's go ahead and get like 20 of them. And that's probably all that we'll ever need to buy on the regular potion-y side. Now, let's go ahead and save it over here. Yeah, so, Indra, what's the story with that patch you were talking about? Like, I know there's basically a billion mods for this, or just like for FFT in general, but figured I'd ask. Okay, so Squire-wise, let's see what we got here. Got the usual full set here, that's good. Counter throw. Yeah, this seems about the same. But it seems like they have more equipment options early on. It's accumulate, aimed, throw. Wow, those are super cheap. And regen, hell yes. Chemist. I think I'm gonna go for move find item. That seems very useful to have. Okay, it's good to see the potion and Phoenix Down are free now. Nullifies all time magic. Interesting. Okay. That seems useful for later. Also doesn't seem like something I'd find lying around. Child says hello. Very loudly. Pick up an antidote too, why not? And let's pop items on top. Excuse me, Tiny Cat, what do you think you're doing? Yep. No longer a problem. Okay. What about you, Mr. Clive? Cheer up definitely sounds good on you. Throw stone. I should probably be picking up counter throw, but that's fine. Wait, did I pick up move find? No, I didn't. Okay. You, Mr. Muller. What do we want to do for you? Let's see. Okay, he's a mixed build. Let's say probably Oracle or something for him. Yeah, I think it. Okay. And we got no Alrighty then. We got lots of noises today. Okay, so I can buy one thing. I kind of want to... Oh boy. Yeah, sorry for the extra loudness. I probably should have picked up Shell right there. Okay, Wizardlington, what are you doing here? You know what? Pardon me, one moment. Alright, should be all sorted out now. Hopefully the children's are handled. Now, good to see that we have Water, Quake, and Arrow back. Those, I really don't know why those weren't in the original. But alright, so we got Water, Wind, and Earth added to it for kind of the second triangle of all these different abilities. Now, does Bolt still do more, is the question. I'm going to pick up one of each of these, and see if Bolt is still the ridiculously overpoweredness that it kind of always was. Let's go Axe and Counter Throw on you, and change you to Woodbang Priest. Yeah, there we go. Now then, you are going to be a Priest with an Axe, and Counter Throw, and this. And we are still seeing some loudness off in the background here. Again, apologies for that. Children's will be loud when they want to be loud. That's just kind of how that goes. Alright, this guy seems to already be dang near maxed out. So, good on him, although he doesn't seem to want to bother actually using those abilities. What a weirdo. Okay, move find item. Set that sucker down here, and... What? Okay, I guess he just... I know that there are innate abilities now, so... he might just be able to do that, I guess. You haven't even been out in the field yet, so whatever. Probably gonna just fire that one, to be totally honest. Let's see, Chemist, you're gonna be our caster, I think. So let's go Fire 2 on you. Let's give you Raise, and what else? Cure? No, Raise, Shell, and can you Cure? Yes. Okay, so she's gonna be the total opposite of the other guy. And, yeah, we'll see what kind of cool stuff we can make them do. Alright. Light in here, let's put this here, nothing there, and nothing there. Okay, fair enough. Now what are you learning? Stasis Sword, so I guess each of them just has something like that. So let's see, Delita I guess has Stasis, I guess Ramza has Night Sword then... Agrius Peels? For some reason? Alright. That's interesting. Wouldn't want to equip Axe on him. That'd be cool to see something else there. Though I guess they would have to end up changing the entire class for that to happen. And Delita becomes pretty OP early on if it's anything like before. In terms of Stasis Sword anyway. Okay. Let's go ahead and save and get some saddle cutscenes. Okay. Moving on. Let's get some cutscene action. He's achieved the highest rank of Holy Knight. Gotta love the English in these. It's so good. It's funny because it became even worse in War of the Lions. It was like Heavenly Knight. Okay, fine. They're talking about Holy Knights. They already had established those as a thing, but then they have the Wodal remake. They're like, oh, he's a heaven or like what, divine general or something. What the hell? That crap sounds biblical. Like, how do you have ranks of that? You just go to church one day, like, check it out, I'm super good at stabbing things. Like, okay, You want to go stab things for the Jeebus? Like, yes, let's go do that. Alright, everybody's all sad and stuff, and getting all cutscene-y. And one of these dudes murders the others. Take a guess as to who. I'm assuming everybody knows, because this game's like 1 trillion years old. And kind of one of the only well-known things out of the genre, which is depressing. It's really kind of a shame. It's such a wide genre with so many cool things. Like, FFT is the only thing so many people have heard of. And like, how much work did they put into Front Mission 3? Like, just the Front Mission series in general. Like, all the little back stuff. Like, the fact that they had a fully working internet in that thing. Like, if you've never played it, it's basically kind of similar to this, except with mechs, and just like the idea is you get all of your skills from different parts that you equip on your mech, and then they just have like a % chance to happen. Like, for example, you get some arms with like a better trigger finger or whatever on there, and there'll just be a chance that during the fight they're like, yeah, suddenly he fires 50% more shots, or, you know, suddenly they dual wield both their guns and fire like a crazy person. And it's a really cool way of doing things. And which, by the way, strangely enough, if anybody that's doing modding stuff happens to be looking at this, why does that not have a mod yet? Like, that's relatively well-known-ish. It's on the PS1, all that crap's been pretty well cracked, so what gives? Where's all the Front Mission mods? Anyway. Okay, still breathing, what do we do? How about kick this guy off a cliff? How does that sound? Maybe go feed him to a tiger? I don't know. Maybe drop him on an ant colony? One of those. You know, all of these sound like equally good options. Oh, wait, what? Do you not get the choice, or did I just skip over it? Huh. Okay. I don't actually know. I know that the guy that was doing this mod was going to take a look at this later, so if that's the case, could you let me know? Did I accidentally skip over it, or is that actually just like a hard, it's always this way now? Because I'm pretty sure everybody, once going back and replaying it, would immediately choose the go ahead and let Algus die route, but still, you know. Because admittedly, I was mashing the button, but I also didn't hear a blub 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 kind of sound, so there's that. Alright, so back to the previous point I was making there. So if you've never played Front Mission, right, they have a fully functional internet system to that thing. Like, between all your different missions and all that, you just have a thing where you go and you customize your entire party, and then you can, you know, go talk to all your party members, and then you basically can go and, like, they have this whole internet system there. And as far as how detailed it is, they have, like, full-on, like, puzzles and, like, all kinds of hidden stuff all over the place, to the point, like, where there's a whole bunch of ciphers to break if you want the best parts of the game and all that sort of thing. There's, like, a bunch of stuff hidden in all kinds of weird, obtuse places, and all kinds of little hints hidden all over these different sites. Somebody put way too much work into that. And I guarantee you, like, maybe 90% of people that went through that thing just looked at it once, like, oh, that's cool, and then just never looked at it again. Aside from checking their email and or going and checking plot sites every now and then. But anyway, it's a really cool system, and I'm pretty sure if somebody went and started doing the whole modding thing, there'd be some pretty cool stuff discovered out of it, but who knows? So I need to go check that stasis sword situation on Delita. See if it's as good as I think it is. I would hope, if it was rebalanced, that it would be the same as it was before, but changed to one tile. So let's go test out this smite situation. Single target 24, and that's not bad. Aw. Friggin' 10% block, are you serious? Alright, this is... Actually, no, I was gonna say it's potentially dangerous, but it should be pretty safe. Oh yeah. Get nuked! See, black mages are still super balanced. Granted, it is a tier 2, so she can only use it twice, but still. That's perfectly fine, it's pretty satisfying. Alright, one absolute mystery, though. So speaking of remakes and things, one absolute mystery occurred right here. So when they remade Tactics Ogre on the PSP, they made one very strange, downright nonsense. Okay, well, it's still the same old AoE thing, but seems like all of its targeting is the same. They made one very strange decision in that they decided that whenever somebody got knocked down, which only your own units could get knocked down, the other guys just like immediately turn into a bag of whatever and or a card, but basically only you could revive, which was it's one of those things that One Vision ended up saving because it didn't make any sense. But anyway, so what ended up happening was that if you ended up, like, let's say taking a shot or having somebody cast something or throw a rock or whatever else, if somebody was on the ground, they would just basically count as a solid object in the way. So even though it should clearly fly over them, they're like, no, I accidentally aimed at the ground and just shot that guy in the butt instead, so you're welcome? I don't know, it was strange. But, again, one of those things that OV mostly fixed. Actually, hang on, I need to go check on something, so give me just like 1 minute here. That's it. Alrighty, and I'm back. I gotta say, one of our neighbor's kids must be the loudest child in the universe. Yeah, basically, you know, I had 3 kids around here. You know, most of them just, well, 2 of them just kind of play, but one of them ends up sleeping until he has to eat. And the thing is, like, my whole cutoff for this whole thing is when he has to eat. So, oh crap, I didn't mean to actually select yes there. Whoops. Alright, well, time to test things. So 12, 17. 12, 17 probably, yes, and... Okay, so Bolt does not seem like the flat-out better one anymore, but it seems like the main difference between the tiers is actually whether or not they AoE or not. Good call on that one. I like that. I believe that's something that one of the FFTA X did that too. It's good stuff. Alright, anyway. So point being, I have, you know, just a baby monitor here, which the thing has little sound indicators, basically saying, okay, you know, like, X, Y, or Z is, you know, currently making a noise. And the thing is, they're screaming so much from, like, 2 apartments away that it picks up on the monitor, so I have to go and look. Like, I clearly don't see that they're, you know, going and fussing, but I have to go and double check, because somebody's screaming so loud from another dang apartment that the thing's saying that there's sound. Dang, what the hell? How are you picking that up? Alright, there we go. He's doing the old shanking. That sort of thing. Oh, there's 7 people here now, how about that? Hello, 7 people! How's it going? How's your day? How are things and stuff and occurrences? Hopefully pretty darn well. Hopefully I didn't offend anyone on the FFT Reddit today. I always have a tendency to kind of offend people on different Reddits because I'm going and posting stuff out of nowhere. Like, hey, I'm doing a thingy, why don't you come take a look? It's like, I don't really mean anything bad by it, I just figure it's relevant to their interests. So anyway, if anyone happens to be from there, hello! So Ramza will continue dying of poison over here. Oh! Bye, phone, I guess I didn't need you anyway. Alright, never mind. Phone is now back. Say hello to the people's phone. Oh wow, look at this guy being all helpful. Thanks for using our expensive items. Algus. Even when you're not an enemy, you're such a dick. Those things are like $1,000 a piece, dude. Like, 700 bucks, whatever. We're not made of money. Oh, crap, I forgot to actually check. Alright, when watching this back, I'm gonna have to go and check whether or not we actually lost those 18 bucks at the start. I need to know if Gafgarian was wasting our money. He's one crappy mercenary if he's going and just wasting our money like that. Like, oh, what do you do for a living? I make so much money, I throw money at people. Okay, well, whatever floats your boat then. Okay. No can fire too, but you can cure. That's fine. Just have her maybe run back here. Probably gonna have the Squire eat the Knight. Or maybe, you know what, no. Actually, no. Maybe the Knight has equip armor, or just maybe enough points to potentially equip armor later. That's something I always really like to do, to basically have casters go in and collect a bunch of points from Knights and stuff like that, so they would be able to go and get equip armor. That system is something that really should have been redone in a lot of other games, but just, I don't get why it wasn't. It's that same old thing where just people are afraid to go and touch anything remotely Mitsuna-like. It's like, oh no, we're gonna mess with the legend. Like, no, come on. You can make new things that are like the stuff he made. It's not like the guy is a friggin' dank pope of games. You can go and actually mess with the things he made and improve them. He was not very good at balance, let's be honest. Okay. So, let's go ahead and throw stone here. Right, did the mentioning the balance comment end up offending everybody until instantly leaving? Oh, surprisingly still here. Okay, alright, how about that? Yeah, I don't know. There seems to be a bit of, oh, yes! Dude, it's not the time for drinking. Put all those expensive drinks away, you dick. What am I doing here? Right, I'm gonna go finish off this guy. Schmack. But yeah. What was I getting at? Just point being, yeah, there's, there really, I feel like the genre would be doing a whole lot better if people weren't afraid of messing with stuff that he made. Because it's not like he made them alone, it's not like he was the only one that's ever had an artistic idea or whatever else. It's like, he created a pretty decent style here. You know, it's pretty cool and unique and everything. Cool. You can go do other things too. You know, it doesn't all have to be just that. Like, for example, if you've ever played Knight of Lotus, it's one of the TO games. That was one of those situations where somebody took a Mitsuna thing. They're like, okay, let's evolve this a little bit. And I will say this, it does run like crap. It's a GBA game, but it's a downright miracle that it's as good as it is. But the thing is, they basically took the established setting, they improved the balancing of it, they included a bunch of unique systems in that one, and it wound up being really, really good. Like, it's a lot of people's favorite in the series, despite being what is essentially an offshoot, like kind of being its own little side kind of game, because of, you know, all the unique systems that they put in there. And yeah, it's kind of a shame because it wound up being relatively unheard of. Alright, well, guess we're just waiting for the rest to expire now. Oh, hang on. Give me just a moment. But just say no, I didn't forget to turn the mic back on. I'm just gonna have to call it after this part, because one of my kiddos is kind of having a tantrum. Terrible twos will do that. Sometimes you just get tantrums over nothing. So, anyway. Going back to muting. Okay, stuff's relatively quiet down here. Quieted down here, rather. But, like I said, I just basically gonna have to call it at this point, because, one of my, kiddos is, getting a little bit upset, so it's gonna get pretty loud around here. And unfortunately, you can't just go and give them a snack or something that messes them up in the head, so, you know, gotta actually address that sort of thing. So, alright, anyway, I will see you later. Having fun with the mod so far, liking the changes, and curious to see what else will come up. So, yeah, see you then. Take care, and have a great day. Bye.